The elephant in Revell's product range. Yeah, this is the new tooled, supposedly new tooled, Revell 32nd scale A-18F. Revell have previously done the E version with the fancy VX9 Vampires scheme on it. This is the F two-seater version. This has been a hot topic over the last couple of months since it was released, and some ways I can see why, other ways I don't. Yeah, what do you say? I've seen a couple of build videos on YouTube of this kit. Some are making a big issue about it. Some are not. Some are being very quiet about it, and some are just taking it for what it is. And what it is a kit made to a price point. Now, I heard Phil Flory say this at the beginning of his review. It is just that. It's built to a price point. Not every kit is going to be Tamiya quality. It can't be, because every company has its own finite budgets and tooling abilities and tooling equipment, so you can't always get it 100% right all of the time. Nobody can. Tamiya is in the top 1% that can do that. Revell are not. They are a mainstream, middle-of-the-road company that produces kits to a price point that everybody can afford. Okay? Yes, some of their kits are more expensive than others. Some are less expensive. But your middle-of-the-road company produces kits for the masses. Okay? Not everyone can afford Tamiya. You know, not everyone can afford Zucamura. I'd like to. You know, I do have Tamiya kits, but I know I've paid through the nose for them. Revell, you get a middle-of-the-road kit. It's a little bit woolly around the edges. You do have to put a little bit of work into it. But at the end of the day, it looks like what's on the box. Okay? Now, I know this kit's got faults. I've seen it. You know, I've already been through this box and looked at the parts. I know the Super Hornet, as well as the Tomcat. I know the Super Hornet pretty well. Alright? I'm sure there's people out there that know it better than me. But externally, I know what I'm looking for. And if things aren't right, I'm going to know it. Okay? One of the things with this kit is the nose. Okay? It's got a bulbous nose. You fix that. Okay? You sand away a bit, you check it, you sand it away again. You might have to fill a few areas in. But hey, that's part of modelling. Okay? The canopy. Yeah, it's got a seam line down the middle. Big deal. Polish it out. You know, there's not enough problems with this kit that can't be fixed with a certain amount of ability. I'm not saying you have to be a modelling rock star. I'm not saying you have to be a beginner. A beginner could build this kit. I'm sure they could. But all I'm trying to point out here, as others have said, it's been made to a price point. The fact that Revell put in their instructions to remove flash, that tells me it's been produced to incorporate a range of abilities. If you're a beginner, you may not know to remove flash, so it's going to tell you to remove the flash. Those of us that have been modelling for a long time, that are rolling our eyes at this, should just take a bit more consideration for those that are starting out in this hobby. I've been modelling for a long time, and I actually appreciate that they've put that in there, because I know that Revell are thinking about it. Yes, I might think it's a bit odd because I've been doing it for a long time, but you know, I'm going to know to do that anyway, so it's no big deal. And half the time I don't follow the instructions anyway, because I might find a better way of assembling a part. So that's all I'm just trying to say here is, you know, don't throw darts at Revell for producing a kit that's got a few issues with it, right? You know, I've heard rumours that the guy who designed the kit has been sacked. Whether that's true or what, I don't know, and frankly I don't care. You know, what Revell does in its corporate structure is their business. What we see in the shelves is a product of a lot of people's hard work and time. You know, in production, manufacturing companies, a lot of hard work goes into producing the final product. So I'm not throwing daggers at Revell for that. You know, that's their business. So, you know, having looked through this already, I'm actually really quite happy with it. Initially, I wasn't going to buy it because I'm a victim to the rumours and the gossip. I thought, no, I don't really want to buy that. I've got the trumpeter one. But now, having seen it, and I was given the opportunity by a friend of mine to purchase this, I thought, yeah, why not? What have I got to lose? If I don't like it, I sell it. But I like it, I'm going to build it at some point. So, yeah, I think it's a good kit. You know, yeah, I might have to put some elbow grease into it, but hey. So, that aside, we're going to open the box and have a look and see what we've got. Okay, now this is a big box, so you're going to have to bear with me a bit here while I try and sort this out. So, ran over, so I'm sorry about that, but I just had to make a point, okay? Big box. I love the artwork on this. I think this is great. It shows the Super Hornet in the way that it would be in combat. Now, one of the things that you might notice is that, well, doesn't the Super Hornet carry external tanks? Well, yes, it does. It's carrying a center tank, but it quite often carries tanks on the wings, normally on the inboard points. One of the things about the Super Hornet and its role is that it's very adaptable at having asymmetric loadouts. That means you could have a heavier load on one side and less load on the other side, freeing up weapon stations for exactly that, weapons, what they're designed for. So in this case, it's carrying a couple of JDAMs, GB31s, 36, an AMRAAM, and a Sidewinder. Although you can't see it because of the fact that it's turning, it could be carrying a wing tank on the other side, a JDAM, whatever else on the other side. So in terms of its loadout, it's very adaptable. And in this role, given the two-seat operation, the twin-seat Super Hornet is very good at the fast FAC role. Now, a FAC is a forward air controller, and that would normally be a guy on the ground who's directing the airborne assets to a ground target. What a fast FAC or a FAC A does is he's acting as a forward air controller airborne. So he's an airborne forward air controller that can direct other assets as part of a strike package, and he can be the senior on station commander, I suppose, to direct other assets as well as performing strike missions themselves. So it's very, as the Tomcat became in OEF and OIF, it became very good at that FAC A mission. And so the benefit of having the backseater is that he can take care of all the weapons management, directing other traffic, while the pilot, he just flies the airplane. However, I do know that the Super Hornet with the advanced cockpit station, some of the missions can be interchangeable between the front and the back seat. However, it is more important for the pilot to do his job, exactly that, piloting the airplane and getting the backseater into a position where he can deploy his weapons. So the box art is very apt at representing that. So Revell's larger boxes have the lift top. We're all familiar with the open-enders, which a lot of people seem to complain about. Again, I don't have a problem with it. Now, on opening the box, when I first did this, I was expecting to see a horror show. Given the rumours that I heard and some of the things that have been said about it, I was expecting to see a Flash horror show. And quite frankly, I don't see it. Yet there's a little bit in one or two places, but right off the bat, I'm not seeing a huge amount. What I think has happened is that the initial releases, now kit manufacturers often do this, they'll issue the first batch of kits, which might be a bit woolly, and then, you know, say the batch is 100 kits, right? And those are the kits that when the kit is first marketed and it's set out to be on pre-order, people pre-order the kit, and the first 100 kits off the production line, those are the pre-order kits. They go out to the distributors, and those are the ones that you get when you pre-order a kit when it's brand new. That's what I'm thinking has happened here, is that those people that are complaining about it and that have done build reviews and saying, well, there's Flash here and, you know, it's a bit of a dog and all this sort of thing, I'm thinking they've got the first run of kits, okay? And they're not quite where they should be. And very quickly, what Revell may have done is like, okay, people are complaining about it. What are they complaining about it? Let's fix it. So they'll refine the molds, polish them up, you know, mill them flat as they can get them, and try and make the joints between the molds as flush as possible to try and eliminate that flash seeping in between the molds. You know, so once the plastic has filled the mold to make the part, there might be a little bit of overspill in the mold. That's what I'm thinking is going wrong here, is that they're pre-ordering the kits, they're getting the first few, and that's where the complaints are coming from. So I'm not going to begrudge people for observing that, but for making a big deal about it is the problem. Yeah, there's a problem. Okay, I'll fix it. Move on. You know, so it's not uncommon if you pre-order a kit, those are the ones that are likely going to have the problem. So it pays dividends rather than as soon as a kit is marketed, as soon as it's available for pre-order, there's nothing wrong with say waiting 6 months, and who knows, the price may drop by, you know, say you buy a kit for $120, you know, maybe in 6 months time might come down to $100 or $90, by which time the problems have been fixed, whatever they are, if there are any. So basing on that theory, this kit looks in pretty good condition. I'm not going to say there isn't any flash. I'm seeing a few burrs here and there, but there's nothing I'm seeing that's jumping out at me that's saying there's a big problem. So, but one of the things I do notice, and I've seen one person point this out, that yes, the canopy seam is a little bit woolly. Now, I don't know if that's going to pick up, but there is definitely a seam line there, which is to be expected because, you know, although some manufacturers can do it without a seam, but others can't. Now, it is there, just in the light, just in the middle of the frame there, and that runs all the way along, and just either side of that there is some distortion. I don't know how well that's going to pick up or show itself, but there is a bit of distortion there. Now, again, other people have raised this issue. It looks a lot worse on their kits than it does on mine. Now, one of the unfortunate factors is that this sprue, which has the front canopy and the heads-up display and a few lenses on it, has been floating around in the same bag as this canopy. So it does have a few scuffs on it, but nothing that can't be polished out. So I don't actually see there's anything wrong with that. 10 minutes, I'd have that polished out, no problem. Okay. Now, looking at the profile of that nose, I can instantly tell that this is one of the problems of the kit. And to be honest with you, it's a minor problem. The profile of that nose, this area here just by the top sprue connection, sprue gate, it is a bit on the bulbous side at the top there. So it comes up here, and then there's quite a sharp rise there before it carries on. Yeah, that's a little bit ugly, okay? But it's nothing that, you know, a bit of scraping and carving can't sort out. I'll definitely have a go at it. It's no big deal to me. But I am kind of hoping that maybe someone might cast a new resin nose for this, because it is a bit on the fat side. The main fuselage top, I mean, you can see some of the detail there just catching in the light. You've got some of these ghost marks here on the wing. That's just the heating and cooling of the plastic in the mold. You get these ghost marks from the mold. They actually almost look like cracks in the wing, but it's just part of the way it's molded to get some of the shapes on the inside of the mold. You can kind of see it there. See these wavy lines, you know. That's just part of the molding process. That's all it is. And one of the things with the Block 1 Super Hornet is the earlier ECS vents. This kit has them. The problem with the Block 1 Super Hornet with these vents was that they were getting heat damage on the panels just behind the vents. So the vents sit here, and they were getting heat damage down the back of the aircraft. And so to try and alleviate that, along the back area there, they put black heat blankets, which worked to an extent, but then they started getting burned through. So they changed them to the barge stacks on the Block 2 Super Hornet, and then started retrofitting the Block 1 Super Hornets with the barge stacks, and so they got rid of these. Yep. So the kit does have the barge stacks that are there at the bottom. So those are the five on each side. The kit doesn't show it, but I mean in scale form they're too small anyway. But they would, on each of the stacks, they would have perforated holes on each of them, and then in the middle there would be the actual exhaust ports to direct the airflow upwards and away from the aircraft. So they sit like that. You know, this is forward, this is back. It's directing that heat flow up and away, as well as it being mixed with the cool airflow to reduce that heat signature. Got the bottom fuselage. Again, really nice detail on this. There's really nothing surprising on that at all. I really like it. I wish I had an overhead camera that I could zoom in on, but I'm not like some YouTubers that want to show everything. There is some nice detail on that. Don't know if you can pick it up. It's got everything. It's got everything that you'd want. I mean, it's got the nice thing I like here, and I've not seen this anywhere else. Rather than, you know, you sometimes see kits, they've got ejector pins all over the place, and you have to fill in some and out. Yes, they're on the inside, but look what they've done here. Okay, these little tabs here. Rather than having the ejector pin on the surface of the part itself, they've actually made little lugs to push it out. I mean, that's a really cool idea. Revell have actually thought about that. You know, where to place ejector pins. They've done it here too. Look at that. I mean, they might be trying to bring this kit in at a price point, but I mean, they've actually thought about it. You know, there's a bit of thinking going on there. Same on these parts. Look at this. Yeah, you can't tell me there's anything wrong with this. Right, on the back side there. All of these little lugs here are where the ejector pins are. There's not a single ejector pin on these. These are the leading edge slats. Yeah, they're part of the leading edge slats on the outboard wings. Now you cannot tell me that Revell have not been thinking about that. You know, why put the modeler through more work than is actually needed, when all they needed to do is just put little lugs on the sprues to push the part out, rather than having the ejector pin actually make a print on the part. I mean, yeah, on something this size, this is a big piece of plastic, so you do need them on the inside, but you're not going to see them on the inside. You don't need to do any work with that. But when you've got thin areas like that, then yes, you know, but they've still thought about it. I mean, you know, that's thinking, you know. I really do. Got forward fuselage. I suppose this is turning into a bit of a review now, but what I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of detail and there's a lot of options with this kit. You know, slag Revell off as much as you like, but I mean, this is cool. Those lugs here on the forward fuselage again, those lugs are there. A couple of ejector pins on the inside, but you're not going to see them. That's all going to be hidden by cockpit, gear bays, etc. You're not going to see that. In fact, apart from, no, not even that, along the entire length of these two fuselage, forward fuselage halves, there's not a single bit of flash on it. You know? The main fuselage, little bits of burring. That's it. It's just burring, not what I'd call flash. Yeah, these are the intake and turbine fans. Okay. Now on early, again, my theory about pre-order first batch of kits. Those build reviews that I've seen on YouTube, these fans are full of flash in between each of these fan blades. Now what I'm seeing here, see these little they look like little pins just here on 1, 2, 3, 4. The other ones don't have it, so it's just that one. It looks like Revell have cleaned the tooling up, or in post-production they've removed all of that flash that was in between all of these fan blades. Again, which is proving my theory that if you order, you know, when you pre-order a kit, you can almost guarantee that the first 50 or 100 kits are going to have problems with them because they're early shot kits. You know, a lot of the manufacturers, when you go to model shows, a manufacturer might be unveiling their new product for the following year, right? So they'll have a test shot on display. It's not a production, it's nowhere near a production, it's a test shot. They might have to put in twice as much work to that build as what you might have to do for the first lot of production kits. And so whatever problems they've found in that test shot, they'll change for the first production, and then any more issues that crop up after that. It's an ongoing evolution cycle, and that's what I think they've done here. And they've removed that flash, or they've changed the tooling in some way. Okay, so it's the day after that I recorded that sort of whistle-stop tour and look into the Revell 32nd scale Super Hornet, the A-18F. And what I was just trying to prove there was that some of the criticisms that have come out about that kit over the last few months, and from build reviews and ongoing builds that I've seen of that kit, I think some of the criticisms are a bit too harsh, unjust, and some of the remarks that the kit's just not buildable, or too many issues to warrant spending the time of day on it. I haven't, granted, I haven't built the kit yet. All I've done is just looked at it in the box, and quite often, I've been there before, you look at a kit in the box, looks great, then you come to put it together, and that's when you start finding the problems. I have absolutely no problem with that, and if people are saying that there's problems, fine, there's problems, okay? I just wanted to put forward the fact that for the price of kit and the quantity of plastic in the box, it is worthy of being built, regardless of how long it takes you to build it, regardless of what you have to do to it to make it look right, whatever you have to do to correct the issues with it. At the end of the day, it's just modeling. And as I say, it's a kit that's been brought to market for a cost, and these are just, because of the cost of making that kit, no one else apart from Trumpeter has made a 32nd scale Super Hornet. Super Hornets are a wash in the 72nd and 48 scale market. They're not in 32nd scale. It is a finite area of the business what the Revell wanted to get into. Bring a 32nd scale kit to the market that is not unique, because there's already one kit out there, but it is marketable and buyable for more of the masses that maybe can't afford the Trumpeter kit or can't find it, and that's all it is. The downside of that is it's just got a few flaws, minor flaws, that's all. So all I'm going to say is just go and buy the kit. Go and buy the kit, build it, see what you think, and just enjoy it for what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a box of plastic. It's not worth getting frustrated with it, getting frustrated at Revell, or whatever you want to take your frustrations out on. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, it's just a hobby. Tomorrow's another day. So I hope someone out there may have got something from this. Don't know, it's up to you. But just enjoy the hobby. So I'm going to leave it there now, and wait for the thoughts to roll in. Okay, thanks very much. Take care. See you on the next video. Bye.